Hey all, today we are going to see about the topic a case study of a small Norwegian software team. So these are the list of figures and list of tables. Introduction. With the newest release of SharePoint by Microsoft, Asplan Viac AS decided to upgrade its SharePoint-based document management platform by Cube from version 2007 to version 2011 in order to make use of new feature from SharePoint. So when a software in under development, it requires testing to verify the quality of the software. During the development, the ByCube 2007, only manual testing was used for locating the defects in the software. Asplan Viac would like to take a look at the opposite testing strategy, automated testing, and to compare it with manual testing and during the development of ByCube 2011 to find out whether automated testing is worthwhile to implement in ByCube 2011 or not. So background. Only tiny mistakes in ByCube may break the quality of the whole software. For instance, the previous stored documents are missing from ByCube, which will influence the process of related project. Now, proper tested software may cause serious problem. For instance, the failure of health-related service, even the failure of government system. Poor software quality costs the United States economy approximately 59.5 billion every year. Companies wasted their investment and even lost reputation when software goes wrong. The function of the software is extremely important in all the industry to support the work. So it's essential to test the software before it is released into the real life in order to make sure that there is no serious problem which may cause the software to fail. Due to the budget, time and different requirements, a suitable software testing method or strategy is necessary to find out the problem and defects in the software effectively. Otherwise, the software will be vulnerable after installation. So here is the diagram given for design, implementation, testing and maintenance. So the problem definition. The quality of ByCube 2011 influences the business is as plan Viac. The software touches hundreds of people directly or indirectly, either enabling them to finish their work effectively or causing them frustration. Software testing is able to make sure that ByCube works properly. Automated testing as a testing strategy of a test execution allows the test being executed faster than manual testing. In order to solve the main problem, we need to implement the automated testing in ByCube 2011 and evaluate the performance of an automated testing by comparing it with the opposite test strategy, manual testing. The research questions are defined below as RQ1, how to implement automated testing in ByCube 2011. RQ2, how is the performance of automated testing comparing to manual testing. RQ3, which benefit could automated testing give in the design and implementation of new functionality in ByCube 2011. Its methodology. So here is the diagram given for the methodology and the explanation. After the hypotheses have been identified, we will verify them through the case study. Finally, we will realize the result against the hypothesis based on the case study. So it's outline. Literature review. In this section, we look through the related work which has been done in the research and industry ideas. When we develop a system, we usually follow the process of defining requirement specification, implementing and verification. During the process, software testing plays a role to verify whether or not the implementation fulfills the requirement specification. Firstly, we explain which role software testing is playing in the software development life cycle, as well as the methods and the strategies which are used to perform the software testing. Secondly, we give the definition of the automated software testing and manual software testing. We will list the pros and cons of these two testing types according to the previous studies. Some observation and pilot studies of automated testing will be made afterwards. What is software testing? Software testing is an important and essential step in the software development life cycle. Generally, software testing has different types which are used to fulfill specific requirements in SDLC. Software testing can be performed in several steps. Some of the steps are related to specific testing strategy. So here is the definition for software testing. Software testing determines whether or not a product works correctly and efficiently according to the requirement of end users. Software testing subjects a piece of code to both controlled and uncontrolled operating conditions in order to verify the output, which should be in accordance with predefined conditions. So here is the building quality of completion. The first is unit testing, integration testing, functionality testing, acceptance testing. So there are 4 testings. So it requires analyzing the requirement, test designing, test execution, and problem identifying. Detaching bugs and errors from the code relies on different testing strategy during software testing process. The sum collection of different strategies assures that the software meets the targeted quality. How tester executes the test during test execution? Basic methods of execution test include manual testing and automated testing. The main difference between these two is whether a testing tool is used or not under the test execution part. Most detail will be explained in chapter 2.2. How tester treats the object during test designing. So white box testing and black box testing are two commonly used. The quality of the software testing. The main purpose of conducting software testing is to improve the software quality. Software matrices are helpful to measure the software testing either when it is under development or after the system is ready to use. The metrics helps in judging the quality of software testing in order of value how well the testing has to be done. So here quality scope, metric and description of it is given. Requirement, function test coverage, its description. The number of test requirements that are covered by test case that are executed against the software divides the total number of test requirements. Same for test design, code coverage. It describes the percentage of which the source code of a program has been tested. Test execution, it tells the execution time, the time which takes to run the test. Problem identifying, total bug count. The number of simply puts all the other number in perspective, such as percentage of bugs given step or iteration. So manual testing and automated testing. Manual testing is the oldest and most widely used software testing strategy, which requires the tester to perform test execution manually on the target software without the help of any test automation tool. So automated testing uses the test automation tool to control the test execution automatically. It is the process of writing a computer program to do testing that would otherwise need to be done manually. The test will pass when the actual outcome equal to predicted outcome. Automated testing helps us to eliminate the influence of human interruption and minimize the variability of results. So here is the comparison of test returnability, return visibility, test area, process fragility, human interruption and its description. This is the manual testing and automated testing are compared here. So it's a comparison between manual testing and automatic testing. So the observation of automated testing. Implementation cost, direct investment costs such as time and human resource. Training cost, the cost that requires for tester to start performing automatic testing. Maintenance cost, the cost that is used to maintain the automatic test cases when some changes happen in the corresponding code. So there are three types of cost for implementing the automated testing. So it is the pilot study of automated testing. Some good points that have been made in the pilot study. Cooperate with developers, get known with the system through developers. Ensure common understanding and knowledge. Understand the whole business application to ensure the right structure and the size of the test case. Keep it simple. So it is analyzing ByCube. ByCube 2011 is a website portal for storing projects, and each project has corresponding SharePoint room site. In the thesis, we focus on testing the portal part automatically. The portal website can be divided into two main domains, NY and ObTrack. The following graph is a screenshot of the ByCube 2011 web portal part in ObTrack domain. All the projects are specified with name, type, status, leader, customer and start due. Most of the details are found in after open the corresponding SharePoint room. Description of existing test. What are the problems of existing test? The range of the test, organization of the test, the quality of the test. So these are the three main problems of existing test. So case study. Hypothesis. The hypotheses are divided into hard features for evaluating the process of automated testing implementation and soft features for evaluating how well the automated testing implementation is. Hard feature evaluate the physical part in the case study, which include organizing test, implementation procedure and tools. Hard feature focus on the process of setting up the automated testing in ByCube 2011. Soft features focus on the performance and the influence of automated testing compared with manual testing. We evaluate how team size and software layers can influence automated testing. We also evaluate soft features from performance side, which includes cost, code coverage and driven design. The details of the such hypothesis are given below. So hypothesis is divided into two, hard feature and the soft feature. Hard feature has three categories: implementation procedure, organizing test, tools. Soft feature is again divided into two categories: influence, performance. So the influence has two categories. One is team size, software layers, and performance is divided into three. It is cost, code coverage and driven design. So it is explained here. Automated testing performance are better than manual testing in all the layers. Automated testing costs more than manual testing. The combination of different automation tools can result better automated testing. The way of organizing manual test and automated test is different. It is easier to increase the code coverage of automated testing than the manual testing. Automated testing can drive the design of new functionality in ByCube 2011, while manual testing cannot give any benefit. So these are the procedure. So procedure design. When a develop team wants to transfer from manual testing to automated testing, there are several steps needed to be done. So we have to set up the environment and configure the software for the case study. After the preparation work, we design the procedure for implementing the testing in ByCube 2011. So here is the preparation. Basic ByCube is the basic platform in our case study. All the experiments will be conducted on it. However, it is not a wise take for the real system, which will deployed later as a case study platform. The reason is obvious. We might write wrong code, change things that we are not supposed to change, or even delete some essential parts in the system. So we need to configure the replication of ByteCube 2011 in local machine for the case study instead of accessing the real database server and web server. After we set up the basic environment, we need to publish ByteCube so that the people can access to it. At beginning, we plan to publish the ByteCube portal by IIS as how real ByteCube is being published. But then we found the web config file is too complicated to be set ready. So we choose a simple way to publish the ByteCube portal by debugging the whole solution in Visual Studio. So here is the procedure. The procedure of implementing automated testing will be defined in this chapter. In the training part, we learn all the necessary elements for performing the implementation and the maintenance. Under the implementation part, we firstly find out what we should automate, following by how to automate and which tool to use. In the last step, we figure out what we should maintain and how to maintain. So here is the diagram for procedure of implementing automated testing. What to automate? Almost everything in the software has to be tested. However, we cannot automate everything because we cannot afford it. Tests are only good if they are likely to find bugs. We are always ask ourselves several questions. Do the automated tests provide benefits in the future? Is the tested feature used frequently? How often is the feature likely to be changed in the future? Is the test likely to find regression bugs? So these are the common questions. ByteCube 2011 architecture using Entity Framework 4.0 diagram is given. So now how to automate it? There are three preferable categories: test suite, test case and test step. By these three we can automate them. Test suite is a collection of test cases that are intended to be used to test the software program. Test case include a sequence of test steps. Test steps provides the detailed schematic on how each test case is validated and ultimately completed. So the way of organizing the test is given here. Maintenance. It is a last procedure. So what to maintain? Automated tests can be used again and again only in the condition that no changes has been made in the software. Once some changes are made in the software, the maintenance is required, and meanwhile it has highly time consuming. We should focus on the software parts that have been modified and try to update the test as soon as possible. Implementing automated testing. After having the knowledge of case study procedure about how to conduct automated testing in ByteCube 2011, we are able to implement it in the real software. The part is the second step in the case study implementation. In this step, firstly, we select target parts in the ByteCube 2011. These parts will be tested automatically. Secondly, we should the tools which can fulfill the automation task. Thirdly, we will automate the test in target parts of the selected tools. So selection of testing tools and frameworks. We have to select them. Firstly, we select the tools and framework which will be used for implementing the automated test. Secondly, we will select the code coverage tool. On the frequently used feature is test quality evaluation is code coverage, which offers a quantitative measure for the quality of test. So here is the Visual Studio 2010, Terli Test Studio, MSP-EC. A test with MSP-EC needs 4 pieces of information to be established: defining variables and test name, set up the contents, change functionality, check result. So here is the explanation. NDB unit, NC cover, experiment of automated testing. Here we implement the automated testing in ByteCube 2011 architecture. Test suites and its requirement and its test cases. is given. Test design, how to design it is given. And test execution, how the text is executed. And problem identifying, how to identify the problem and how to fix the problem. Automating services layer testing, so automating services, it's layer and testing, and its requirement as explained in this. And its maintenance, result evaluation, and hard features of H1, H2 and H3. Hard features, soft features. Its explanation for the cost of test suite is given. Code coverage of test suite 5, 6, and its recommendation. How to organize the test, combining automated testing with manual testing. Adequate automated test, start testing in the early stage, choosing suitable tools and frameworks. So these are the recommendations. Conclusion and future work. In the thesis, we try to figure out whether or not it is worthwhile to implement automated testing in the document management system by Cube 2011. The reason for doing this is that we hope automated testing would offer some good feature like fast execution and better code coverage, which cannot gain the current software testing in ByCube 2011. In summary, the major perceived benefits of automated testing include quality improvement through a better test coverage, and the most testing can be done in less time. However, the case study indicated that achieve a better test coverage and less cost, automation alone is not enough, but human involvement is needed in the selection of test cases. Based on the case study, we suggest that automated testing together with our recommendation can be implemented in the development of ByCube 2011. It is difficult to write error-free code. What we can do is trying to identify those errors as early as possible and reducing the amount of error as much as possible. Finding errors early is a lot more cost effective than finding them later. With a nearly error-free software, the company can maximize the value of the software. So here is the reference. Sample code and Grand chat. Thanks for watching.